Hey everybody, good morning. I just got in from the Mississippi Gulf Coast, so just a lot of traveling. I had a panel discussion yesterday with the Gulf Coast Chamber of Commerce, so it's been a really busy week, but excited to be here. I oversee Microsoft's philanthropic work, so what that means is not just with our TechSpark initiative, with like grant making and making investments in certain areas, but really looking at the full scope of our company. So we have a Microsoft for Startups team that is right outside of the philanthropies team that supports directly with startups. We also have an Airband team that works around high-speed internet and supporting with ISPs and accelerating deployment of high-speed internet. And they also look at the digital devices and how we can make it affordable. But one of the barriers is also once we get affordable devices, we have to look at how can we train up the residents so that they understand how to use the devices. So that's a really big part of my role is deploying various departments within Microsoft and figure out how do we package it for Mississippi and for our region. But we're really excited to partner with Janet, Tony, Tasha, the Innovate team. We knew that when we got a call from Janet several months ago that she, obviously we're great partners, but we knew that we needed to have a strong partner that's already building the entrepreneurial ecosystem that's really supporting small businesses if we're gonna really be a big part of the economic development in the region. So we knew early on we wanted to support Innovate Mississippi. But then the second thing I want to make a note of is just to the founders. I know I met many of y'all during the Jackson photo shoot that we had. So it was great to get to meet you and learn about what you're doing, and I'm excited to track your progress. But for the others that I didn't get a chance to meet, those that are in North Mississippi, the Gulf Coast, the Delta, throughout, hopefully today we get a chance to chat a little bit. I'll be here. I'm going to try to stick around for as long as possible to hear everything. But yeah, we're really excited. I'm definitely not a motivational speaker, but I do want to impart some, wisdom. As like before Microsoft, I was in the startup world and understand what it's like to pitch and have to explain it several times, and nobody really quite understand what it is, and then trying to get investor funding and everything. But had a lot of ideas and ventures that were really successful. I was a teacher before that, and so it was some of them helped to double and triple the income, and then some were flops. But I think the one thing that I would just say to everybody is just to really, appreciate and enjoy the chase of the venture. Really think about what you can learn from your experience trying to start something from scratch. And so, looking at your contacts, you may meet folks here in your development that may not be helpful for your startup today, but will probably be helpful for a future venture, or for, you might start working for Microsoft, and it might be contacts that may be helpful to whatever you're doing with Microsoft. And then looking at the resources that you develop, I know you've been bombarded a lot with resources that Tony and Tasha have given you, but I know you're doing your own research and you're discovering new resources that you can leverage. Again, that's the same thing, not just for your existing startup, but for future projects and for future work will be extremely relevant for that as well. And then my last thing would be the skills that you develop. I didn't know how to code or anything before my first venture, and I didn't have the resources to do it. And so, obviously had to learn how to do it myself. So spent a lot of time learning it. And so built a little prototype, a little MVP to get it going. But even though that venture wasn't successful, the next venture was able to build something pretty quickly, but also was able to have smart, conversations with developers once we hired them to build something pretty viable. And then the third thing with that was, as a teacher, I was teaching elementary ELA, and transitioned to teaching computer science middle school eventually. So you just never know what skills you'll develop in your chase to start these things from scratch. And so that's just my words of wisdom for y'all as you get going with your ventures, and just excited about this partnership with Innovate, and good luck going forward.